happens around the 6-week mark. We start to see a difference in personality. And when we have our puppy family visit, it never fails. The puppies change quite a bit. Often, whomever has been the quietest puppy in the group becomes the outgoing one, and vice versa. So lots of times our families leave the puppy family visit and think, oh, Purple Collar was so quiet and a bit reserved, and Yellow Collar was just so outgoing. I really want a quiet, calm puppy. I think I want Purple Collar. Little do they know that the next morning, Purple Collar's woken up. Wow, I met all these people. That was wonderful. Yippee, now I know what my calling in life is, and they're all over the place. And Yellow Collar's like, huh, okay, well, you know, this is as outgoing as I'm going to be now. I'm going to be a little bit more contemplative and think things through and be a bit more discerning. So you just never know until closer to the actual allocation date. That's why we leave it until fairly close in the process before the puppies go home. So with these 2 litters, we had one family, and that's Lola's family. They have had a Labradoodle before. She became ill and passed away, and they just found that their lives were too empty without a dog. Mike has retired, and he was really missing the company, and Nikki is close to retiring, and she was really looking forward to being fully retired and having a dog in her life again. And so they wanted a dog who was fun, entertaining. They were not in the least bit concerned if the dog was one that was challenging you and was a little bit sassy. And they really both were fond of Mama Rowan's diva nature. So they have the miniature Rowan, Miss Purple Collar Girl, who is Lola. Purple Lola is identical to her mother. She is sweet and loving and an adorably smart girl, wickedly clever, full of mischief, and always thinking, I wonder if I can outsmart the people and get this and that and the other thing to happen the way I want it to. If you follow us on Facebook, you'll have seen many videos with her showing you her lively diva side. She's quite a communicator. They both will talk, but it's always Lola who instigates the conversations. And Rowan is quite a little chatterbox as well. We've had to make many accommodations and arrangements for Lola because she is just so clever and very imaginative. So she figured out very fast, oh, I can climb up on the crate, and then I can jump over here, and then I can just simply jump out of the X-Pen when I want to get out. There's no need for me to stay in here. Whereas Pom Pom, Pink Collar Girl, she wouldn't ever dream of doing that because that's just not in her nature. She may also want to do that, and she is by no means any less clever than Lola is. She just is one who is more acquiescent, more inclined to do what she knows the rules say she should do. Whereas Miss Lola is a rule breaker, or not a rule breaker, but a rule challenger. She's always up there trying to figure out what she can get away with. So she's a perfect fit for Mike and Nikki. They have all the knowledge, experience, and the comfort level to deal with a little miss who's a bit of a diva. Now Pom Pom is going to a lovely family in Burnaby, and this is their first dog. They have not had a dog before, and so they were really looking forward to adding one to their family. Then primarily, Sean, their 5-year-old son, was looking for a best friend. They live in a townhouse, so they have a smaller backyard, and Sean is 5, and so he, is not too crazy about a dog who's going to be pushing the limits. He wants a dog who's going to play nicely with him, who's really going to be a good friend with him. And Winnie was really looking forward to having a dog that she could start to work with and learn together with. and one that would be easier to learn with, as opposed to being thrown off the deep end head first. Pom Pom is just perfect, and when they were here for their premium visit, it was like instant that Pom Pom bonded with Sean. Whereas Lola was running around chasing Sean and doing this communicating, Pom Pom was sitting quietly waiting for Sean to interact with her, and then was very, very much attracted to him. Lola was far more interested in the adults, whereas Pom Pom was much more Sean focused. So it was just like a match made in heaven. It worked out perfectly that we had these two nicely distinct personalities that happened to fall within the realms of what the two families were looking for. Now you'll see what the girls are doing here, where they're playing with the same toy. They're playing tug mostly while they're teething. They are at that baby piranha stage. It is probably one of the most annoying parts of puppyhood. We don't like it when they pee on our floor, obviously. So there's house training that people always find to be a challenge, and teething. For me, teething is worse. House training is easy. All you have to do is remember to take them out at every hour, when they wake up, after they eat, and pretty much you can avoid at least 90, if not 100% of accidents in the house. Or you can put a pee pad out and they can use the pee pad. The teething stage, however, is more difficult and more challenging, and it seems like it's never going to end. It seems like all they do is bite, 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 and I can tell you, it hurts. I have bruises, I have cuts, I have my shoes on because otherwise I'd have no toes left. So you see how they're pulling and tugging, and they've got their toy that has the rope in it. So when you get your puppy home, you have to become the other puppy, because you can't expect to just throw the toy on the ground and expect the puppy to entertain themselves. Because if I take one of these puppies out of the mix, so here we go, sweetheart, let's come up and see me, Pom Pom, and I just leave Lola there, she'll play with this for a while, and she'll probably chew on it for a bit, but she's going to get bored really quickly, and she's not going to have any satisfaction from it. Of course, now she's going to pick the time to go at it forever. But as long as you're on the floor like I am, so that she can take the toy and chew on it on top of you, and occasionally you're going to do this, and then you're going to throw it for her, and you're just going to make it a little bit more of a challenge, just like they do for one another, then you're going to have fulfilled your function as the new puppy parent. And you don't have to do it constantly, but you do need to be down on the floor with your puppy, not sitting up on the furniture and putting the toy on the floor, not putting them in an X pen, putting the toy in the X pen, and expecting them to do everything by themselves. You are the one that needs to be interacting with them, and you need to provide them with different things, so that now we've got a softer chew that has a little bit of a sound to it, and then we've got this crinkly one. You don't need to change them as often as I am here. I'm just showing them to you. And these toys here, like this long one and this one as well, these are great when you have young children, because your puppy can hold on to this end and your child can be on this end, and there's a good safe distance between your puppy and your hand. I like to use those toys too. Now, we've talked a lot about what is and isn't appropriate for certain ages. And this is a toy that I have that's the example of what not to use. You'd think, oh, this would be great for chewing. They can't break it, they can't pull it apart. Exactly. It gives them no satisfaction or relief whatsoever. This toy is never played with. The only reason I have it out is to show you what not to do, and when they're smaller, they like it because it rolls a bit. You'll see that they'll still play with it for rolling and picking it up, but it doesn't provide the teething relief that these other ones do. It feels like they have 100 pounds of pressure when they're biting you. It hurts like crazy, and you think, good grief, they could probably chew down a tree rather. They're a little bit like a beaver, but they still don't have that actual strength there. Now, the other way to deal with the biting, of course, is their bones. Now, just as a little heads up here for Lola's mom and dad, Lola takes her chicken nicks and goes and swallows them whole. Pom Pom's terrific. Pom Pom gets all the benefit. She's chomp, 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 chomp. She cleans her teeth, she makes sure her gums are healthy, and she is occupied for a good probably 8 to 10 minutes eating her chicken neck. Whereas Lola, it lasts for approximately 2 seconds, and she just swallows it whole. So the thing to do when you have a puppy like that is you just, if pretending this is the chicken neck, you just hold on to it and hold it in her mouth and make her chew it. And you'll find after a few times, once she figures out, oh, this is way more fun, oh, this tastes really good, she'll do it on her own. But she just needs a little extra help in that department. Otherwise, the girls are both doing really well eating. They are now on 3 set meal times a day. They eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When they have had 10 minutes with their dish, it's then picked up and put away. It doesn't matter if they've eaten 2 bites or they've eaten the whole thing. It gets taken away and they don't get anything until the next meal. And they are doing very well with that. They're also doing great with their sleeping. They go to bed around 10:30, and usually they're not awake much before 8 o'clock in the morning, which is lovely. Usually we don't get puppies that sleep in like that, but even like this morning I was up just after 7. They can hear me, but they didn't ask to get up. They were still sound asleep when I came in at about 7:45 to take them out. And the routine is, first thing, they go outside, they immediately go to the bathroom, they play around outside. We do about a 10-minute playtime outside, then it's inside, they get their breakfast. They have to stay confined while they eat their breakfast because our big dogs eat in here. Then once the big dogs go out, it's back outside for a pee and a poop time, and then they're in playing for about a half an hour with me, and then I leave them on their own. And then they're on their own till around lunchtime. And then that same process is repeated at lunch and dinner. So now you'll see here what's going on. Well, we're going to play with Mummy's pants because clothing is really popular. Now I wore these looser pants today, so that would happen. And when this happens, and Pom Pom will pick it up again in a minute here, as soon as she picks it up, okay, so of course not. They would do it all the time normally, but when they do it, you want to say to them in a stern voice, and then of course what you do is you replace it with something you do want. Right now, the fashion is for wider leg pants again. Good girl, good girl. There you go. You got to see it in action. That's all you have to do. 1,000,000 times in a row sometimes. Wider leg pants are in fashion, so that means when you walk, there's material flapping around. And when the puppies see the fabric moving, they're like, "Ooh boy, look at that's a nice moving toy. I'm gonna go grab that." That's a really bad habit, and one you want to be sure that every single time you stop what you're doing and you make sure you tell them and you have something available as an alternative for them to be occupied with. Cuddle bugs? Oh yeah, these guys are cuddle bugs. They'll be telling you they want to sleep in your bed as soon as you take them home. You don't want them sleeping in your bed right away because it's quite likely they will pee in your bed. Good girl, Lola. Good girl. The other thing to remember is do not use your puppy's name when you are saying only when you're saying good. The name should always be associated with something positive because that way they're going to come to you. They both know their names. They both know they come very well. Their recall is excellent. They're really very well behaved puppies. They are loud, but once they're separated, you'll find that they're not going to be making all of the racket they do when they play with each other. Now you heard Pom Pom just there. She's mad because Lola's hurting her. So when your puppy bites you on your hand, or that's the kind of sound you want to try to mimic, because that's how puppies learn what is too much pressure and what is and isn't okay in terms of biting, because they don't know. They have no idea. These guys do know what my skin feels, tastes, and smells like. When you get home, they have to learn what yours smells and tastes like, because yours is going to be different from mine. One other thing is, if you have shoes like this, if you wear running shoes, if you want your laces to stay intact, don't wear those when you're playing with your puppies. They'll chew the laces, and they'll chew them until they chew right through them. Shoelaces are a really popular thing. I don't usually wear these when I'm playing with them, because I will end up with no laces, or I'll stand up and trip over them because they've opened them up. But just lots of things going on with them. They're going to have no problem. What's happening with these little girls is tomorrow they are going to Duncan to stay with our assistant Taylor and her family. And then Taylor is going to hand deliver both of the puppies to the Lower Mainland. So if you get a Van Isle Doodle and you don't live on Vancouver Island, it's no problem. Taylor is available. She has her own little business called Positive Results. She does training, boarding, and puppy transportation. And so we can hook you up with Taylor, and you can make arrangements for her to deliver your puppy to you. She'll even help you set up your puppy starter kit and do an initial introduction to your children or another dog, help you get your house set up if you wish. All of those things are services that we offer through Taylor, or we don't offer it, Taylor offers it to our puppy families. So they're gonna get a bath today. They'll be all pretty smelly and all perfumed up for going on their big adventure tomorrow. They'll go off to Taylor's, spend the night at Taylor's, and then they'll be off for their big ferry ride to Vancouver on Saturday morning. And by Saturday afternoon, we're going to have two very excited and very happy families welcome these two little sweeties into their home. So we hope you've enjoyed the journey with these two puppies. It's been a real roller coaster. We're glad that these two are happy, healthy, amazing little girls. We're really going to miss them as we've become incredibly close to them. It's a lot different raising two puppies from a normal size litter of 6 or 8 or what have you. There you go, you have that. So they have become very special to both Reynold and I, and we're really going to miss them. But we have Mandy coming. We're going to drop the puppies off, and as soon as we drop the puppies off, we're picking Mandy up, and we're bringing Mandy back home with us because she is going to have puppies on November the 8th. So we're quite excited, and we have our fingers crossed that we're going to have a wonderful, healthy, happy litter, and we aren't going to have to learn anything new. Medically speaking, everything's just going to be smooth sailing. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey with these puppies, and we hope to see you and have you join us for Mandy's puppy, and that litter is called Trailblazers. Thanks so much for watching.